Episode 80.
Episode 80.
We cranking
Yeah.
these janks up, Brody. You recording already? Yeah. Episode 80, Figuring Shit Out Podcast, man. Y'all know what time it is. King Arthur in the building, man. Unify and thrive. Don't y'all forget it. Um, I got some events coming up this summer, man. I'm going outside,
Mhm.
got me some product, about to get rocking. Frank, what's going on with you?
Check out Lucid Perspective and lucidperspective.com, cyberbunny.com. And then coming soon, maybe in a week or two, we got
What's
Lucid
up?
Perspective podcast. Me and my wife, we're gonna drop our first episode.
Ooh,
Take a look out for that. It's coming to you. Outside of that, I got nothing. What's going on with you, bro?
not much, man. Oh, don't y'all forget it, man. So look, before we get started, head over to Rugged Evo, right? We got a lady on board today, but go check out Rugged EVO. When you buy your product, use the checkout code FSO. They got a nice little discount for y'all over there, man. It's gonna be, I don't know how much it is, but man, so he can look out for you. So go ahead and check out the
Mm-hmm.
product, get your beard right, get your beard all nice, shiny, and crispy. You know what I mean? Keep it popping. Um, do that. And so, and today's guest, who we got? We got Cheryl Patrice, right? Did I say that right?
It's just Cheryl. Yeah, it's just Cheryl.
Just Cheryl. Okay,
He
okay,
said,
Cheryl. We got Cheryl from and she can be talking about our brand media or our brand TV. She got an app over there, kind of like a streaming platform, all right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a streaming network. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Well, welcome. Appreciate you.
and I'm glad to be
Um,
here. I'm trying to figure shit out.
hey,
are we
that's
all?
a fact.
Are we
Okay.
all?
That's a fact.
And so I think to get the show started, we ask every guest, right? Just how this conversation get going. We ask everybody, what's your figuring shit out moment?
Pardon?
What is your figuring shit out moment?
What's my moment? Like, when did I decide that this is what I wanted to do, or
Oh,
when did that I just get the aha button?
It could be any moment, any
it could
figuring
be any
shit out
moment,
moment that changed your life,
right?
and you just figured some shit out. You had an epiphany, changed your
Started
life.
made you move differently.
Oh gosh, I'm probably way older than most people and older than you guys. And so your moments happen several times. They hit you several times throughout life. You go, oh, I think my first one, when you're in your 30s, you start to just trust your gut more than anything. You
Mhm.
just it just hits you one day and you say, you know what? Everybody was telling me I was wrong, but I was right.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then as I'm 2 years from 50, I
Hey now,
sit
I
here
couldn't
and I'm
tell.
like, huh?
I couldn't
That's
tell.
young. That's
Yeah,
young. That's
I'm-
Yeah.
that's young. That's so young.
yeah, but when I'm sitting here 2 years from 50, my figuring out moment is can't please don't why am I trying to impress people? Why am I trying to please people? You know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Uh your
Mm.
character is more than your image.
Mm-hmm.
And
Those are bars.
you just I don't know, you
Yeah.
just sit there, you have an epiphany one day, like, why am I trying to do all this for people who don't pay my bills?
No, that's a bar. That's
So
important.
what were you doing? It seemed like you were doing too much, and you were just like, yeah, that ain't it. What were you doing, and you
Oh
realized
gosh.
I gotta
So
stop.
no. I was born with a congenital heart uh problem. And I used to be real small. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into heart failure. Didn't know I was in heart failure. Probably was in heart failure for a few years. And then one
Wow.
day I drove myself to the emergency room and they said, hey, we're gonna have to do this heart work right now. We're gonna die. So you
That's
know,
crazy.
so I had open heart
Yeah.
surgery
Mm-hmm.
and
That day.
huh?
That day.
No, they couldn't do it that day because I was in a hospital that didn't do open heart surgery.
Okay.
And so I sat in the hospital for like a week until it's a long story, got friends in high places, and somebody called a cardiologist in off of a surgeon off of vacation.
Let's go.
And
Man.
so they came in off of vacation, surgery. So I'm sitting home for 3 months, can't go anywhere, can't drive anywhere. they give you those painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
And after it changed my personality in a negative way for a good couple of weeks, I stopped taking them. And I just dealt with the pain for the rest of
Wow.
the time. I just said, there's all this stuff I wanted to do. Like little
Wow.
TD Jakes in the background. He says, don't die until it's finished.
And what may I ask, what age was that when that happened?
It's
Was
a
that
couple years
recent?
ago. So like 40, I don't know, 42, 43, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
young.
That's deep. That'll definitely do it. That'll
So
definitely change some
yeah.
things.
So I just had my list of all these things I wanted to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
just started knocking them off one by one.
No, that's dope. No, that's inspiring. I had something similar. I was like 19, 20, 21, and I was diagnosed with cancer, and that's been what, 20 years ago. I'm not even in remission. I've been cancer free since and will remain for the rest of my life. So I kind of have a similar situation where it was like being that young and then getting diagnosed, and it's like your mortality kind of hits you, right? Because it's like, yo, this shit can stop. It could end at any fucking moment for any reason, right? In the
Yeah.
middle of anything. And so it puts life in a different perspective, because it's like, oh, you start to think, what am I doing? Or am I doing what I can be? Or am I living up to the full potential that I can be? Or am I bullshit?
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's a bar.
That's some tough pills to swallow, man. I can't even relate. Like, I had people in my family, pass away pretty young, but have all kinds of issues. But I've been blessed and not to have anything that serious happen yet.
Oh,
Knock
that's
on
dope.
wood.
Knock on
So
wood. Knock on wood.
yeah, that's heavy, man. That's y'all some strong individuals be dealing with that, man. Like, I don't know.
Huh?
No, that's dope. So let's jump into our brand media. You got this app. I seen the app. Um, what is that about? Can you tell us a story about that? What's going on with there? And then what is the dream that you started to follow after you figuring shit out moment?
Okay. So I was in media for like from the time I was 17, probably until I was 42, until the open heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off, I worked at New York Times, Golf Digest, some ad agencies, UPN television, CBS, Fox News. I worked at a bunch of different TV stations, and the programming they made for people of color, underrepresented groups, I always hated it. Hated it. I hate Maury Povich. I hate Jerry Springer. I hate cops. I hate cheaters. All those shows felt like it dumbed the population down.
Mm-hmm.
It pissed me off, quite frankly.
And they still out there.
And I would tell people, I'd say, that's not my brand. I always say, that's not my brand. But I was on the business end of things, and I'm creative, but I'm more on the business end of things. And I looked, and you look across the country, you look at all the major networks, none of them are owned by a person of color. None are owned by a Hispanic person. None are owned by a Black person. Now, a lot of them now are public corporations, but they're still private corporations. There's no mass media that was owned at the time by a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
Now, BET growing up, BET used to be classy growing up. Okay, 80s, 90s,
Oh, that's way before
people
me.
in there, but little R&B, but once it was purchased by a major corporation, Viacom, it just it wasn't classy anymore. There was like Crisscross came out. And they're like, "Hey guys, can you pull your pants down and turn them on back? Can you braid your hair? Can you talk like this?" A Black entertainment television, I despised it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in Black empowerment television.
Let's go. That's dope.
But but I'm not a homogenous person. I'm down for my people every day of the week, but I still believe in unity. And so my vision evolved.
That's right.
And I just wanted so our brand, I want people to be able to share their authentic voice without censorship, Um, if 10 Black girls go missing, I want it to get the same publicity as when one young white girl goes missing. And so that's Our Brand TV. I have a vision. It's a synchronized platform. Actually, I was trying to simulate a television station is what I'm trying to do, but I have to piecemeal it together using technology. So I have a Roku channel, Fire TV channel, Amazon channel, Android, all the apps, website, and everything can synchronize across every platform at once. So if you want to watch Our Brand TV,
what's the website?
See it at whichever platform. Yeah.
No, that's dope. So you have like the channels, like the Roku. You could download it on Roku and all that.
You can download it on Roku. Now I am still trying to work out some technical difficulties, but I'm getting there. Like I said, my expertise is in creativity and the business side of things. I've got some young contractors I'm trying to get on point. But
it's hard to find good help these days, ain't it? we kind of in the same boat, trying to find help.
So that's what I'm doing. So if I go live, like on my platform, you can watch a video on demand, you can upload whatever. But when I go live, it should go across all those platforms at once, if that makes any sense. So when something streams live, it'll go to YouTube, Facebook, the apps, the website, Roku, Fire, all those channels at one time.
No, that's cool. Dope.
When you mentioned BET and its change, right? And so that timing was literally when Biggie and Tupac was beefing, right? When hip hop went super gangster, when it went, drug dealer chic.
Toxic.
1990s.
Early 90s, yeah.
Early 90s.
Biggie.
92, 93.
Unalived in 97, 96, 97.
That made me think about a recent TV channel or streaming app, Tubi. Right? Tubi blew up maybe when
during COVID,
late 2022.
Blew up during
Tubi
COVID.
Blew up, and it was like, man, these black shows are crazy, but it's it's kind of original, it's kind of catchy, right? It's something we thought it was ours. Come to find out, that's a Fox owned platform.
So figuring shit out. Here's your figuring shit out moment. I'm sorry, figuring shit out.
You could curse. No, you could curse.
You get some kids in the background. I heard them. So
they sleeping.
I could give you the history of TV and media. All right.
Oh shit.
So in the 80s, that's how they always do it. The largest consumers are people of color. And so in the 80s, that's when Fox Network came out. The original TV networks were ABC, CBS, NBC. The other ones came along later. Fox came along later. UPN came along later.
Oh, I remember UPN.
Came along later. And then they merged UPN and WB to MyTV. But Fox came out by getting all the black television shows, Girlfriends, Family Matters. That's what they led with. Once they got the numbers, they flipped it. Once they got the numbers, all those shows were gone.
I remember that.
Their demo. And so that's the same thing Tubi's doing right now. That's their MO, their modus operandi.
Wasn't living
really and Tubi was owned by a different guy in California, just an individual like me. He was in business for a few years. Then Fox came in and swooped them and bought them. And so that's when, once they bought them in like 2020, 2021, that's when they said, hey.
That salaciousness came along.
They said, come here, black creator. Let's talk for a second. Let's see how we can make money off of you again.
Yeah.
Right.
Was it Living Color on Fox? Remember? I remember all those shows. He's speaking to my
I'm
childhood.
trying to think. Mad TV was on Fox.
Okay.
I'm not sure about In Living Color,
No, that's crazy. And
but
yeah, no, Tubi's full of crap though. Like I get on there
No,
sometimes and I'm just scrolling through and there's a bunch of hookers, hoes, gangster
I'm
stuff.
disgusted now, bro.
Yeah.
I am disgusted now knowing that it's owned by Fox. Like, at first I was like, all right, I'm cool with it because this has to be black owned, bro. The way they would like let the movies just fly and how they were just so urban and so hood and so low budget, right? But then you come to find out this is a Fox pushed media. You're like, damn, dog, y'all trifling.
but
And
they're
like
changing their
to
branding
even
right now.
Are you looking for a media agency that covers all the creative tasks that make a business successful? Lucid Perspective produces elegant, high-resolution graphics and logos, high-definition and 4K video, complete with treatment concepts and innovative editing. Lucid Perspective provides photography services such as fashion, advertisements, product or service, and aerial photography. We also help businesses build their brands from the ground up with complete campaigns that will make your business attractive to your target audience. We can bring your brand to the masses with our effective and strategic marketing campaigns to include sales funnels, eye-catching advertisements, breakthrough digital marketing through social media, and other digital avenues. Visit lucidperspective.com today.
who is Tubi?
Yeah.
To what?
Well, they're starting to do the flip.
The formula?
They're starting, history. We learn from history. They're starting to do that flip. They pulled you in with the numbers and the advertisers and the money. Now they're starting to change their content a little bit.
Mainstream stuff
Oh,
now.
I got it. Yeah. What are they changing to? I haven't been on Tubi in like weeks, so I don't know. I haven't.
Must be.
I read because I'm following this stuff every day. I can't remember, but they announced their new platform changes maybe a couple weeks ago. And so I'm going to share this with you. So the movie film industry in the United States and Canada is $26 billion. $26 billion. $6 billion movie box office. Independent created content, 91% of those shows don't see the light of day. Independent filmmakers, less than 4% make any money. So if you talk to people, it's just like the people with the Facebook and the YouTube, some lady, I'm on seven different platforms. She earned $123. But depending on how much she spent on making her film, $15,000-$20,000, she's in the hole.
Right.
So
no, I believe
she's
it.
making money.
No, I believe that.
Yeah. And so the point I was trying to get to is like, are you going to be allowing content creators to provide their own show on your platform, right? Or
Absolutely.
are you just streaming? Yeah.
No, so
okay. So how does that work?
I don't make content. So this platform is basically, hey, if you want to be up there, put it up there. And so, I'm going to try and do, as I get further in, to get some more money, maybe find a partner. I'll promote the channel. I'll promote the channel. As I know from television, and from television, people watch a good show.
Right.
If it's good, they'll watch it. If it's good, somebody will share it. So I can't tell you if you make a show, everybody's going to flock to it and love it. What I'm going to tell you is, you want a platform? You want to put your stuff up there? Go ahead. I'm not going to edit your content. I'm not going to, if you own it and it meets decency standards, go ahead.
Oh, that's dope. So define decency, because stuff that'll be on Tubi, I could tell you for a fact they make the whole movie on their phone. And it don't even be an updated phone. It could be like a phone from 5-6 years ago.
If Frank video got, so Frank be pointing everything out.
Yeah, I am very what's the word? How would you describe me? I'm very
meticulous, particular,
detail oriented when it comes to quality, video settings, audio, and you could tell, King could tell you, when we try to go out and do in-person shows or whatever, like I'm trying to bring all the equipment, trying to bring all the backups, trying to make everything look straight, look good. So when you say anybody can upload, right? Do you have like a list of quality controls? You know what I'm saying? Or is it pretty much
So on my site, I have the specs, and usually, I usually think that independent creators fail with the audio.
agreed?
That's usually where independent.
Don't even think about it.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so I have the specs on there on
that's
what your
nice.
program should be. But I'm still figuring this out. I'm not gonna keep using your acronym, but I'm still figuring this out.
Oh, you can. No, that's
And
fine. Use it.
so I what I'd like to see up on the channel: truth and justice, knowledge, untold stories.
Okay.
Oprah had a book club way back when, and she focused on untold stories.
Mm-hmm.
The books weren't all well written, but they were definitely untold stories. Stories, the sorts of things that you don't hear about on a daily basis. And my audience, I'm trying to follow what people in their 20s are interested in hearing right now, because they're the future. I'm not. So I'm trying to. I've interviewed a ton of people to see what they're interested in. I've interviewed independent creators, probably 30, 40 independent creators, different levels, different genres, different generations. I've interviewed viewers. Only the folks are so far in their 20s. And what I thought they'd be interested in was completely not what they're interested in. So that like blew me away, but I was pleased because that's what I want to go with.
You know what? We
Would
might have
you
to do
go
some
ahead?
not group think. What's it called? When you do the research, you get people. I forget there's a term for it. We might gotta do some research into ours because our podcast, I don't know if 20-something-year-old people care about what we talk about on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about business, entrepreneurship,
They
things
do.
that
They
people
know
that
it
want to
all.
get out the rat race. But then when you go to TikTok and then see what's being promoted and pushed on TikTok, it doesn't seem to be that. Unless you're following those people, I guess you might see that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard to gauge.
So, if you the folks that I interviewed, they were all young African American male and females between the ages of like 23 and 30. And I was surprised, like I said, most of them don't watch a lot of TV. So I've got to go check the
Right.
numbers from way back when. They do look at those reels and the Instagrams and all that all day long, as do I. But in terms of TV, they were looking at old 90s sitcoms, early 2000s, stuff before they were born. They like to watch documentaries and things that'll teach them something because they're more interested in knowledge than
That's
maybe
good to
Gen
hear.
X is.
That's good to hear. Because me and my wife, I mean, we pushing 40. I'm about to be 40 this year.
Hey.
We was watching we had a like nice little marathon of what the fuck? What's that show? Living Single. We went back to Living Single. We was
Okay.
watching that, and it was just like they don't make shows like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like Living Single. It was pretty dope. And I remember the episode, like I remember watching this when I was like 12. You know what I mean?
What up? And so like you said, I don't watch TV either. Like I my TV is for like my kids watch more TV than I do, but it's more like when they're watching their cartoons or whatever. But when I'm searching media, I'm definitely looking for during the day is definitely podcasts of some sort. Something I can learn from, grow from, do my best to digest something and use it from it. But in the evenings is definitely I'm looking for something original. If they make another Transformer, if they make another Jason, if they make another Child's Play, you know what I mean, a Final Destination. Why do we have 9 of this? I'm even tired of Kung
Fast
Fu
and
Panda. He
Furious.
on the before. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what we doing?
Fast and
Like,
Furious
I'm
25.
searching for some. I'm searching for some original content. So that's why Tubi was a draw. Like, even the shows weren't that great, but they were. I can call them original, right? I was something I ain't never seen before. Something I couldn't predict all the way through, right? So, do you think that the young folks are looking for something original or something new?
So original doesn't have to be new. Okay, because it's still new to them. Okay, so and they like smart reality TV.
Smut? Well, that's
Smart.
everybody. Smart or smut?
Smut.
Oh, you said smut?
Smut.
Smut.
Yes.
Oh, I heard smart.
No, smut. 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 So that's like Married at First Sight, or one of those, or something.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimatum. They like stuff like that too. So it's just like the gist of it is they want to learn on how they can make their lives better. And they also are looking for escapes. So I was watching some teenagers are stuck on that weigh-in show, My Wife and Kids. Remember that one? They're like binge watching that. They're like, oh, have you seen this? And so like binge watching that. Mindy, oh gosh, like, sorry, it was like a lot of chick stuff, but I thought they were gonna be like, yeah, Law and Order, Murder and Mayhem. I thought they were gonna be like me, like they love crime shows or something, but it wasn't, and I was surprised.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But then I went and looked
the world
at
was
Nielsen
probably
data.
filled with it.
Huh? What'd you say?
I was saying their real world is probably filled with murder and mayhem, so they want to probably get away from it.
Right. But I'll drop another just thing for you. So in 1992, MTV came out with The Real World.
Right.
I remember that.
That was like one of the first reality TV shows. And so when the television stations realized they can get huge ratings without like really making a script or building elaborate sets or graphics, and they could make the same, without paying actors and actresses
that part
tons of money, and then they could make this. Then everybody went reality TV for they get Idol,
huge industry.
Then it just blew up, and that's when television really became crap.
No, I agree.
Well, that's when because it doesn't matter if I have a 20 rating and it cost me $20 million to make it, and I got an 8 rating and it cost me $5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. A few cameramen, throw people in a party, make them go to the club and record it. Everybody signed the model contract or whatever, and then just throw it on the TV. Yeah. Millions of dollars. Easy day.
Right.
High ROI.
Everybody costs the same as Ben Affleck. The one Ben Affleck actor costs the same amount as all the cameramen, the equipment, the actors, even the promotion material probably, right? The same
Everything.
100, 200,000 he would have requested. I'm lying, 500,000 he probably would have requested. They could probably put into making a whole season. And this made me think of Black Ink. Black Ink over there, VH1. Caesar, say, them fools, they got paid. He got paid maybe a couple mil, maybe 20 to 50 mil, right, from doing Black Ink. But he was like, VH1 came up like 200 M's off of him. Damn. And he was looking like, damn, what did I do? What have I done? You know what I mean? Like that, like, and I'm pretty sure that's a freaking a head scratcher, because you have no idea what you have, right? But you don't have a resource or the opportunity to do it. But when they present you with the opportunity, it's the resources, and you go and do your thing, and you do what you know you were gonna do all along, right? He's already been making tattoos. He's already been hanging with these people. They may give him a little script to make it a little bit better, but for the most part, whatever was going on in the shop was going on in the shop. Caesar was going to open other tattoo shops. He was going to go to other cities and do tattoos, right? So I want to know how content creators feel about being used in such a I don't know, like a smutty way, right?
Exploitation. Being exploited.
They're still gonna do it.
Exploited hard.
But they're still gonna do it. They're gonna do it time and time again, because creative people they just want you to hear their message. Like, all these people that I interviewed, all the independent creators, the most important thing for them is that somebody sees their work of art, that somebody hears their message. You look at Facebook, you look at Instagram, you look at TikTok. There's millions of people up there that aren't making a dime, but they go up there daily because they want you to hear their message. They want to share their voice. They want you to see their artwork. And so for some people, it's reward enough to just be out there. Now, also, yeah, a lot of young people get exploited, and that's not just in media. You get exploited when you go to work every day. Your job, Burger King and McDonald's are making $500 an hour off of the 10 or $12 an hour they pay somebody. But like, so everybody gets exploited on a regular basis, but a smart creator realizes it's just a jump off. It's just the launch pad,
Right.
They know that, hey, this person's going to help put me out there faster. Quit and move on,
Sign the contract. Here's the contract. Sign it. Don't read it. Don't ask about no lawyers.
Y'all say that. I just
6 months, not the rest of my life, not my firstborn, not my blood type.
Right.
I'm giving you this for this limited amount of time. They don't, but if they had business sense, just being eager, that's what they would do.
Hi, I'm King Arthur, founder of Novel Views Tech, where we prepare children aged 10 to 17 for a future shaped by advanced technology. Our curriculum dives into fields like robotics, nanotechnology, quantum computing, and more. But what really brings learning to life are our bi-monthly, Exploring the Future of Technology, webinars, hosted by industry experts. These webinars aren't just lectures, they're interactive discussions that connect your child to the pulse of the tech world, creating a learning experience that goes beyond the classroom. We offer a money-back guarantee to ensure you're completely satisfied. Equip your child with the skills to not just adapt, but to innovate and lead in the future. Join us at Novel Views Tech, and let's build their future today.
And that's what you get them when they're young.
I just did a quick Google search, right? And so my numbers were wrong. They said VH1 made 1.2 billion off of them.
Wow.
And Caesar's saying he's not even getting any residual checks from them shows. And so that's crazy.
There's the devil's in the details. And then, I'm pretty sure the contract had that written in their benefit.
Had laid out too, but like you said, let me get this meal or two up front, and people get to see my name. I get to put my name out there. They can do all the hard work in the back, but it ain't hard work to them, right? It ain't hard work to them at all because they already have the infrastructure. They have the connections. They had the resources. All they didn't have was the fucking talent, right? The creativity. They didn't have the market share. They didn't have, your juice. This is my favorite thing too. And in perpetuity. And it's probably in perpetuity, right?
And he signed that
Don't let them bottle up your juice and sell it as if it's their own, right? You go to these people, you take them your juice, you take them your flavor, you take them your essence, you know what I mean? And they bottle it up, they sell it, and you have no more rights to it. You still the bomb, you still popping, but you just ain't got the ownership of you. Don't let that happen.
Let's get back to the your brand, our brand TV. What plan do you have to attract new content creators to your platform? Do you have like a marketing campaign, or how are you going to get people to put their content on your platform? What plan do you have for that?
I do.
What's up?
I have a plan.
Oh, you don't want to spill the beans?
I have a plan.
You don't want to put too much out there? You want to spill the juice?
So I have a plan,
and
it's gonna be great.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, that's dope.
But as of
it's
right
proprietary.
Now, as of right now, if anybody wants to go up there, I don't own your stuff. You don't own my stuff. Have at it.
No, that's dope.
So I do have like a 3-year plan. 1 year, 1 year, 2 year, depending on how rapidly things move. But for now, it's just a platform. I could probably teach some people how to get bigger deals from what they're doing. There's a lot of mistakes that creators make. And one of them is making stuff that nobody wants to watch, or making a full series, or making a full TV show series, 20 episodes, and not having a buyer. Just because you think, they make it. Creatives all the time will make something. Like, come on, y'all, let's go do this. And they get their cameras and their equipment and the actors, and then they don't have a plan on how they're going to sell it or how anybody's going to see it.
So what's the process? Should you do all that stuff first before you create it? Find a seller or find a buyer, pitch the idea, get someone excited, and then make it on the back end?
I mean, you should probably, there's a couple of type of creators. You've got hobbyists, and no matter what, they're just going to make stuff. They're just going to make it because they're hobbyists, they're political. They, like I said, they just want you to hear what they have to say. And you have people who want to make a profession out of it. Like, they want a Golden Globe or an Emmy or something. And that group of people, they need to have a better plan. They need to have a better plan. And
so let's say I had an idea for a show, and I have so many ideas, it's not even funny, but I had an idea for a show. What should be my first step? Like a pilot, maybe make a pilot with a cliffhanger at the end, and then try to sell that.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like. See, I came up with that off the fly. Look at that. Maybe I should be in this business.
Hey, let's do it.
That sounds like a plan. Or build up a following. Show a little clip of some of the stuff that you're doing. Put it out there via other methods before you dump $20, $30, $50, $100,000 into your project. $10,000, $15,000 on the low budget end. Before you dump all that money, make a look, see if somebody wants to, see if somebody actually wants to see the rest.
Yeah, it's gotta be a dope cliffhanger. It's gotta be like, you gotta know what the fuck is about to happen. And I'm gonna just end it abruptly on some crazy shit. Like, oh, that's it. If you want to see the rest, give me the money. Cough up the dough. Get the Kickstarter popping. Right. Oh no, that's crazy. So what's so the app, when you download the app, is it the same as the website? Like, pretty much you get everything on the website on your phone. You can watch the shows and everything, share them.
Yeah, for the most part. Now, I like I said, I'm still working out some technical things. So if you are watching on Roku, it's pretty seamless right now.
That's dope.
The Google Play Store and the Apple, the iOS app, those are constantly updating. It's just like,
So you hate Apple too?
Today.
Okay, thank you. That was my problem. I had an issue. I was developing the app, and it was seamless on Android. I was mostly developing on Android. I was testing on my Android, but then when it got to the Apple side of the house, all the developer stuff, all their rules and regulations, and then I didn't really have Apple products to test it on, and I didn't want to just go buy Apple just to do that. So I just hit a wall. But that was my problem with it.
It took me a month longer to get on the Apple, the iOS platforms, and the Android platforms, because oh my God,
it's a pain.
Yeah,
it's a pain, and that's why DOJ suing them, because they assholes. I'm not an Apple person, if you can't tell. I hate them. I think they're the devil.
Well, they hooked me like 30 years ago, so 20 years ago. So
I used to be Apple. I had Apple up until maybe 6-7 years ago.
Well, before the phone, before the cell phone, I had my iPod.
Right. But I had an iPod too. I got the iPod. I got the iPhones. But then when they took the aux cord out, that was like my last straw. I was like, it was a perfect thing. You didn't have to remove it. They just switched to the dongle, and then they sell the 2 pieces, and then you lose one. And then they sell you the charger port thing to go back to aux port, and it was like an extra $15, $20 little stupid piece of thing. And it was a wrap after that. I never looked back.
And that's how they get you.
Right.
Tell us how you feel, Frank. Tell us how you really feel.
They change the tech and then make a bunch of unnecessary shit and then sell you that, right? And make hundreds of $1,000s on that. The dongles and all that, fucking $30, $40, $50. For what? It was already in the phone. You take it off the phone, then you sell it separate. And it's a little piece, it's like 2 inches.
It was because they were trying to make more money off the accessories. So okay. So
Right.
again, old was an assistant manager at Radio Shack at Best
Radio
Buy.
Shack.
Radio
Okay.
who?
Radio Shack, Circuit City.
No,
That's not
Radio
old.
Shack,
You keep
Best
saying
Buy.
you're old. That's not old. King, we lost your
Yeah,
video.
so I was
know,
like,
I'm sorry.
geez. So that was like 25 years ago. I was a assistant manager at a Radio Shack and then Best Buy and and so yeah, I can give you the history of cell phones. I've got like 100 in my garage. But so because every single one had the same charger.
Mhm.
And then they realized, hey, we're not making any money off of accessories because they all have the same charger.
Mhm.
So then they started switching them up,
Mhm.
just to make money.
I remember in like the mid 2000s, like T-Mobile, the mobile stores, when you go in there, they had like a little port thing where they had all these type of chargers. Remember that? It was like 10, 15 different type of
Mhm.
charging ports. And then now they're on USB-C, which is fine, no problem. But who was the last one?
Universal.
Who was the last one? Apple.
Apple, of
Just
course. Hey,
changed
Frank, get
to
off your horse, man.
USB-C. Just changed because the DOJ is on their ass, and now they went from Lightning to USB-C, and now they're going to be USB-C, and then that's what they get. And they need to stop the bullshit. But anyway, enough of that.
Anyway, yeah, enough of Apple bashing. So, about the app, right? So, are you welcoming podcasts on the app? And since that's a new thing and a new genre of media,
Huge.
podcast welcome.
So are you a podcast or your web series?
We're a podcast.
Are you?
We're a media company.
You're a web series,
We're a podcast.
but I can see you.
Let her.
Yes, we're both. Okay. Well, let me answer the question.
If I
She's
can
telling
see
you
you,
something.
Officially, wait. I know. You're going to the first definition of podcast, which is just audio.
right?
We are on Spotify and iTunes.
Right.
Okay.
You can find us there and
Okay.
unlisted under podcast. So you can hear us
Okay.
only. But on YouTube and Rumble and Facebook and where we post videos, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a web series, but it's a podcast with video attached to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm wordy too. You got to be specific. So I know where you're coming from.
Teach them something right quick.
I wouldn't call it a web
I'm not trying to
series.
teach you anything. I'm just
But
telling you,
Okay.
if you're audio only, you're a podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
I can't
that's
see.
the older
You
definition.
can't come up. You can't come. No, there's no old definition. It's just people. You got one definition and people change it.
True.
But
All right,
if I
so
And that
see
happens
you,
often.
if I can see you, all of a sudden you're a web series. You might be a web series that was made off of podcast. But
yeah.
once you add video,
We've been web series.
web
since the beginning.
series.
And so look, and I'm with her, Frank,
the
because
definition is.
I'm with her because we have seasons, we have numbered episodes, and we have different series of the web series. So I'm going with her definition, Frank. I ain't with you no more.
It's not my
Switch that
definition.
There could be
It's
a
not my
new term.
definition. It's not my definition. It's
I'm
Google.
sorry.
Google the definition. It's the industry's definition. It's not mine.
Maybe there should
okay.
be a new
Hey.
term for podcasts that also do video, and you can hear it and see it. Maybe there should be a new word. You know, pod
Let's coin
series.
it. Make it up right now. Let's
Pod
do it
series.
right now.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
do
with you.
it.
Do it
What we
right
got? What we
now.
got? What we doing?
Pod
I'm
series.
thinking.
Podcast series. I don't know. Pod video cast. Pod video cast. Video cast.
Media series.
I don't know. I'm
I
gonna
like
think on
media
this.
series.
We could trademark that shit, but like we're not a podcast, we're a video cast. But you could also hear us too on Spotify. We're on all the podcast platforms, and we're on YouTube where you can see us, and Rumble, and et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
that's, podcasts. I feel like without the video, so like me, I don't listen to podcasts. Like the podcasts I listen to, I have to watch because I'm not an auditory person like that. I have to see something too. So that's why we incorporated video, because there's no way I don't even listen to podcasts that just do audio. I can't listen to them because I got to see what's going on. That's just me. It is now 2023, going on 2024. Why don't you have a VPN? Only for a limited time. Go to piavpn.com/cyberbunny. You could get 83% off the PIA VPN. What is a VPN? VPN is basically software that's used to hide an end user information such as IP address, location, private data they may be transferring over the internet, identifiable information such as their devices they're using from being spied on, from hackers, governments, internet service providers, anybody out there who wants to steal your data for their own personal gain. That's basically what a VPN does. If you want to take advantage of this discount, go to piavpn.com/cyberbunny. Go there now, sign up, tell them I sent you, get your software, get it installed on your laptops, on your mobile phones, on your tablets, any device that connects to the internet, get it installed on there. Get protected, go now.
You guys have a webcast.
Right.
You have a podcast. You have both. You have a podcast because
Okay.
you just when you're on Spotify.
Uh-huh.
Once you hit the YouTube and everything else, you're a webcast.
Okay, so how can we mesh those two? Did we come up with that word?
You just did.
To combine it. Web podcast.
You still
Gotta
on
do
that?
something.
All right.
Hey, that's what we
it's
left off.
Both. We got both.
All right,
We have both.
That's what's up.
And then I think
One
the
each.
question I was asking.
Those.
Yeah. I think the question I was asking her next though was, can podcasts be on the app? Right? And you were saying,
okay, yeah.
So I said, hey, I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, how can we get on Our Brand TV? The Our Brand TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, just bring it. So just bring it. Just bring it.
Oh, that's dope.
I don't own you. You don't own me. I'm not gonna pay you anything. I can't right now because we're just starting. We're gonna get there, but you'll have a platform. You can tell people you're there. They can see you in case they want to see it. One statistic I did realize: web series versus TV, you have the same exact content. You'll have a longer retention
on the web.
On TV versus
on
if
TV.
Somebody's watching your show just via Facebook stream or just a YouTube stream.
Okay.
Versus them watching on Roku or Fire TV or Android TV. It's a longer retention.
Does that change with demographics? Like, is that older people maybe on TVs and then younger on mobiles and stuff like that?
Oh, the percentage of time that people actually watch on their different devices, that is a real thing.
Oh, okay. So you're sitting down, the TV's on, you're gonna sit through the whole thing. But if you're on your phone, you might click away.
It's so easy to change and be
get a
distracted by something else.
notification, get a text, get a call. Now, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'd love to have you up there.
Yeah, that's dope.
Just make sure it's pretty.
Oh, we gonna try.
He gonna make sure. No. He's gonna make sure it's pretty. He gonna make sure it looks immaculate. Look at
I'm a stickler for aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? I really care about presentation. That's just one of my things. And we're kind of like me and him. We're kind of like balance each other out because like I really like it's gotta look good. And he's just like, let's just go. We gotta do something. So there's like a balance, and it's kind of like it works out.
Bunny flocks.
Yes.
There is no trying.
I know, and I keep saying that, and he keeps telling me that. Yes.
May the fourth be with you.
Yes.
There is no try. There is do or do not.
Exactly. That's what Yoda said. There is no try. I keep saying that, and he keeps telling me the same thing too. Why I keep saying try? It's just I gotta get that word out of my head.
Because I'm gonna get something done. I'm gonna make something shape, and it may not look the best, but it's gonna be some good stuff. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna be entertained, and he's just gonna make it look pretty, and I appreciate it.
It's important.
I appreciate it. I'm a team right there.
When it comes to like first impressions, though, like you could lose a lot of people in first impression. even though you can continue working at it and make it better over time, you know, if let's say you perfect
Right.
it over time and then somebody be like, oh, I remember that show. I looked at them before and it was whatever. Then you look at it again, you might, you know, first impression still carries.
So,
So,
I heard,
Can I tell you something?
mhm.
so
My character is more important than my image.
Mhm.
And I
She
gotta
said
share
earlier.
this. I went to speak at our great city council meeting a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I have a food pantry. Well, I direct a food pantry. And I was out there in those grimy streets handing out food. So, and humidity in my hair don't really work well together. And so I went to the city council meeting like right after, like 6 o'clock. I walked in there, had my hat on, probably smelled like the streets, who knows?
Mhm.
Whatever. But a few of the people, they were like, ew, you know. But when I spoke,
Mm-hmm.
the newspaper reporter lady came to find me. The city council people asked for my contact information afterwards. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that at this stage, what you have to say is going to take precedent over how you look. Okay?
That's
I knew I
about it.
liked her.
People, when Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart did a commercial together,
Mhm.
Mm.
you know, because it was two rich people. What are you going to tell Snoop? What are you going to tell Mark Zuckerberg? And you're not wearing a suit and tie today, bro?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
You
that's
got
a
something
bar.
to say. You got something to say.
That's a bar.
Man. And so and also I think David Chase was saying this. You can't expect it to be perfect so early on, right? Because then you don't have any more milestones to try to hit. You don't have anything to try to make better, right? You can't. He was talking about people starting podcasts and they want to get the best camera and the best mic and the best whatever first. Like, no, you just got to go and then make sure your content is good, but then you can make the other stuff better. But I get you. I understand what you're coming from, Frank.
Oh
But
yeah,
I'm
well,
with you
I'm
Let
on
not
the
a
this
people
side.
beginner
tell you
though.
what they want.
Mhm.
Let the
Oh
people
no, I've
tell
been
you
doing
what
this
they
for 10
want.
years. Yeah.
Let the people tell you what they want. They might, they might just like raw, real. Let them tell you what they want. Be yourself first.
That's a bar.
All right.
That's
Okay, so
facts.
we're on to another question. Okay, and then I'm hearing the thunder over my house right now.
Oh, it's going over to you
So
now. Okay.
I was asking Mr. Novell Views. I know your real name, but I don't know if you use it up here. So protect the innocent. Why did you all decide to make a webcast, web series, Junto? Yeah. Why did you guys decide to do all that?
Did you go into that a little bit?
I was going to when you popped in. So
Okay, go ahead.
I was telling her that I was introduced to the content creating space by old buddy Gary. We had a show before called Entrepreneurial Minds, and it was just audio. It was just a podcast, but we tried to incorporate the video aspect to it. But I didn't have a Frank. Me and Gary were the same people. We wanted the content creation part. We wanted to talk, but we didn't have that technical video edge that he has, right? So our show kind of fell off a little bit, but I still wanted to make a show. And me and Frank kind of had a relationship previously about business stuff. We kind of our thoughts were kind of in line. He's IT, I'm IT, but we differ on some things. We're not the same as that person, right? So that's kind of I reached out to him. I wanted to make a show. He was like, "Yeah, what's we call it?" And I said, "I don't know." and for a minute, he was like, "What we gonna name it, bro? You want to do a show? What you gonna name for it?" And then I was like, "Let's figure shit out." And then he said, "We can't cuss in the title, can we?" And I was just like, "No." And he got creative and threw the X in there, and we've been rocking ever since. Literally with that, like we did our little trial runs. But for me, I want to make your content. I understand how important it can be, but I also feel like you said, I got something to say. I got some information to share. I want to be able to educate people. And I don't want to be known for the trendy, the gossip, and the salaciousness, right? Like I'm not a trend
Toxic
chaser.
trash.
A
Yeah.
little bit of salaciousness is sometimes good.
It
Big candy in the
carries.
message. I get it.
It definitely carries. No, for me, it was I've been messing around with video. I got a old cybersecurity YouTube channel that's like 7, 8 years old. I've been in and out of media myself. I've been doing video for over 12 years now. I had a hip hop group I used to manage. I shot their videos, I did their promo, I did their management stuff. So like I've been in this space for like about 15 years or so. But this is the first podcast we've done, and it's going on 3 years. We're in the third year now. It's hella fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning a lot about particularly this podcast business. But creating content, I've been doing that for a while. You know what I'm saying? I know personally, it's the wave to get on if you want to brand yourself, your personal brand or any business brand. You know, people are making money online, and it's insane right now. You know, YouTube paying out thousands of dollars to motherfuckers, Rumble's paying out, TikTok's paying out. These social platforms are paying out, but you got to put yourself out there. You got to be creating stuff. You got to put yourself out there, build up an audience, and you can get the money. So, you know what I'm saying? So there's
percentage of people. What's the percentage of people up there though who are
It's-
actually making money? Now,
it's small.
earning money is different than making money versus all the time you put in. Who are making a profit?
Right.
That's true, but there's also the consistency part. Like a lot of people start something and don't finish. So like, let's say, oh, I want to start a TikTok, I want to make money with it. You do it for a few months, you got 50 followers, you can't break 100, you stop, right? The
Right.
consistency part, you give up before you can really learn or take off. And that part I think we've gotten down as far as consistency, because it's like, we know if you don't stop and you keep going, you can only get better, right? You can only grow, right? And is up is the only way to go. You know what I'm saying? You can't really, you're going to grow. You know what I mean? So it's just being consistent, constantly learning, being a student of the industry, learning what you can, and then take it from there. You know what I'm saying? But yes, you know,
And
it's a small percentage, but those people that make it, they didn't stop. You know what I mean? They
That's a
quit.
fact. That's the number one thing for that. They didn't stop. And then like, so, and goal wise, right? For a goal, I think curating our own audience, right? So we both make in talking to our own audience, right? So we both make our own websites, and we understand the importance of, if we want to brand our product or our services or ourselves, we got to have a place for our people to go to outside of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because we don't know them people there, right? We may know them, but we don't have their email, we don't have their direct contact to them, right? If Facebook, Instagram decides to shadow ban, decides to change the algo, decides to ban for whatever reason, there's nothing we can do, right? So by having a podcast or a web series, right, we're able to curate and talk directly to our own audience. We're able to create our own audience. We're able to direct them, and be more of our brand, how we want it to present it to the world, right?
Would you say our brand? Is that what you said?
That's what I
She got it. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So, yeah. So I challenge you guys to really, like, maybe tomorrow when you're debriefing, figure out what your goal is. Like, okay, we're doing this. Keep reminding yourself of why you're doing it and what you want your deliverable to be. What do you want from it? Like, and then like, what's success? Okay, you got how many viewers? What's success? Is it 100 people who watch the whole podcast or listen to the whole podcast from beginning to end? No, it's like 1 million. You know what I mean? I want
that.
1
I like
million
that number.
people, 2 million people to listen to my show from beginning to end. Not like log in, listen to the first 10 minutes and pop out, in and out. I want you to hear what I am saying. I want you to get my message. So, yeah, that's what I challenge you. And most of the
I'm up for the challenge.
I like that.
I'm up for the challenge.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you got the last question, Frank?
Yeah. So our last question. So at the beginning we asked, what was your figuring shit out moment? Our last question before we close out is, what is something you're trying to figure out now in the present?
Oh, so like right now I need a business partner. I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to get a business partner and how to get some investors.
Let's go.
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. You
No,
like
that's huge. That's huge.
that's I know you got to do that for a different like we're in a different place. But I mean, if you work, you guys could. If somebody could just rain on me a little bit like that, I'd be happy to.
No, it's coming. It's coming. So before we close, let's tell the people where to find you. Tell them about your brand.
Right.
Tell them about your website. Tell them about your socials. If they got any questions, if they want to put content, how can they contact you?
Okay. So my email is admin@ourbrandtv.com. And that's the one I remember. My website is ourbrandtv.com. My Instagram handle is @ourbrandtv. My TikTok handle is @ourbrandtv. And my Facebook is @ourbrandtv.
That's dope.
And
Omnipresent.
Easy to remember. I'm gonna follow all of those right now.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Like I said, my developer put the wrong name up on my app, on the Roku and everything. But if you just type in Our Brand Media, which is actually the official name of my company, you can find it on the Apple Store, the Google Play Store, and the Roku channel.
No, that's dope. I got Roku too.
I'm gonna follow you right now.
All right.
Well,
Follow me.
thank you so much.
Talk to me.
Yes.
Facts.
Tell your friends.
We do that.
Talk to me
We'll stay
nice.
in touch. We'll just
All right.
definitely stay in touch. This is a wrap of episode 80. Thank you so much. Our brand
We in
TV.
it.
80, 80.
Hey, we're on podcast, right? This is a wrap.
Web series. We're gonna start saying web series now. It's gonna be because of you.
We got to.
Podcast / web
Appreciate it.
series.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, Bunny. Thank
Thank you. Have a good night.
Cheryl. Have a good one.
Peace out.
All right. Bye.